All in order.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for August 17th meeting.
Second that. All in favor? Charlotte, Jean,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
You don't have to take any roll calls.
Okay,
You don't have
perfect.
anybody up here. So,
Next item on your agenda is discussion and action on floodplain application for Lee Dazan. Dazan, proposing a full-time residence at 310 Scouting Road, map 16, lot 17. Of note is that there is another item following that will be the shoreline zoning application for the same applicant on the same structure.
is he subdividing a lot?
So subdivision is more than 3.
It's gonna be one house on this, the whole lot at this point, eventually it's gonna be divided with his son-in-law.
Son-in-law, correct, yeah.
This is Lee's son-in-law who has the second application of this on the same lot. So it would not meet the subdivision requirements.
Because it's family.
Well, that it's only two lots.
It's only two.
Correct.
Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, you split it.
Right.
3 and 5 years.
So it wasn't already part of a subdivision. Okay.
I think it was 310 is.
Oh, that's right down there where they planted, they used to sell some trees down there.
Oh, yeah. The greenery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the garage over by the road and the trees in the background that they planted years ago. It's that parcel.
And is this down by the river?
It's, the distance is a little over 100 feet from the river. So yes, it's over on the other side of the trees that were planted. Yes.
And it's basically 2 feet above floodplain.
The flow will be a foot above the floodplain like the ordinance requires when they're done making, and he could probably speak a little better than me, but he's going to build up with a foundation, fill it, and then build a house from there up. So he will be above this. You should have a copy of the certification floodplain. He'll be 1 foot above that when they're done.
What's the minimum from the Kennebec?
Minimum.
For us to build a solid structure.
It's going to be based on the flood elevation. It's going to be 1 foot above the base flood elevation.
But
So then-
shoreline,
Oh, shoreline.
but the shoreline, which is next, is the 100 foot setback.
Okay,
Lake, well, 75 on rivers, lake streams and something else is 100.
yeah.
Um, So what is it we're excusing them from?
It's not really an excusing from, if you look at the floodplain ordinance, it requires a planning board to review a flood hazard assessment permit is what you're looking to issue to them. And really, if you go through the whole ordinance, what it says is they're gonna be at least that 1 foot above the floodplain, which is what he's presenting on these 2 buildings.
So basically, he's met all the requirements, so there's no
His-
conditions of approval.
Well, what he's proposing will meet it, yes. He hasn't done no work there yet.
For the floodplain.
Right, for the floodplain.
You see, there's a 3, it's site plan review, which is your basic,
Right.
and then you've got the floodplain, and you've got the shoreline.
Shoreline zone.
So you're gonna navigate those 3 ordinances. And I have to get it, so.
Everything modified there considering,
Yes.
you said that.
David said he considers it complete.
What?
I said Dave says he's considered it as complete.
Yeah, I didn't get read that, yeah. You looking at a motion?
That's your pleasure. I think the first would be to accept motion to accept the application and deem it complete.
The motion to accept the application, deem it complete.
Second,
We need a roll call.
No, just show of hands. We don't have anybody.
All in favor? There's been campers down there for several years, hasn't there?
There was when the land was purchased, the contingency was they had to remove the campers. So.
He's actually a new owner.
So, okay. There should be a warranty of being there too as well, just to prove that the ownership of the property. Really matters. Or it's been on less than 1 year.
And in a slight modification to the draft that I previously sent you. Code enforcement officer recommended that you would approve this document, authorize the chair to sign, but the language in it for the decision would be that based upon review and conclusion, a majority of the members favor excluding the application from regulation under the town of Norridgewock flood plain. Oh, I printed the same way. It is to issue the floodplain hazard
Application. Yes, perfect.
application permit. So we issued that floodplain hazard permit
Perfect.
as part of the application, which is just tape. It's like tape.
Be convenient. You know, they will fish out the front door during the flood. Basically, your foundation is gonna be 2 feet above what the ground level is or something like that.
It'll be a foot above flood elevation, yeah, so it'll be an 8-foot foundation, then the house will start on top.
Okay, so if we are ready, the next motion would be to what?
Would be to approve the findings of facts, conclusions, and notice of decision. Authorize the chair to sign it. Which would grant the flood hazard development permit in accordance with the ordinance.
Okay, we're gonna grant the exclusion. Okay,
You're gonna grant the flood hazard development permit
oh, we
in
are,
accordance with the, well, yeah, an affirmative motion is. But because this being certified out, pretty much the only step for review under this ordinance is to review the flood hazard development permit. There's no matter if they're in or out, they still have to get that permit from you.
Yeah, if you look at it should be included in there, the elevation certificate from, I think it's Sackett and Break, yeah, Steve Gould. I'm just gonna show you that the flood elevation is 176 feet. And his floor is gonna be at 177, so that is the 1 foot standard in the ordinance. So he's meeting the standards to be that 1 foot above the base flood elevation by that certificate from the surveyor.
I'm not questioning anything, I'm just trying to figure out what to write down.
No, that's fine. We don't do a lot of floodplain stuff, so.
No, and my question is, gonna be able to get insurance only being 1 foot above?
That is actually insured, the floodplain is actually designed from the insurance company. Yeah, if you look at if you actually take out the maps, it's a flood insurance map is really what it is, so. If they're above that and they have the certificate from a surveyor on elevations, they are supposed to get it. Does that mean there's a premium for it? I have no idea. They are aware of the insurance issues when it comes time, but it shouldn't be a major issue because they're meeting all the standards of the floodplain.
I make a motion of and conclusion of the fact finding and floodplain management ordinance that we issue the permit.
I'll second that. That's what I wanted to do, but not to get it.
Um,
To issue the permit.
Further comment, discussion related to the flood.
Oh, did we amend that to say that the chairman can sign?
You friendly to that?
Yes.
All right.
We have to do a formal amendment.
No, she's friendly to it. If that's it.
Second.
Is there any more discussion, comment, question with regards to the floodplain application and the motion at hand?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor? Next item is related to the same location and proposal, but the shoreline zoning application.
Next page.
Again, we have draft findings of facts, conclusions, and notice of decision in your packet. There are a lot of different factors in the shoreline zoning application. A good place usually to start for you folks is to look at the things that would trigger your planning board review. And if you have any questions about that, as to whether or not they are going to exist, you may do that. In my draft, I've said that they don't exist. Things like that include mineral exploitation, timber harvesting, unsafe or healthful conditions on the site, water pollution, erosion, sedimentation, adequate disposal of wastewater. There was a septic permit before you, or design rather. Adverse impact on spawning grounds, fish, aquatic life, birds, or other wild habitat, conservation of the shore cover and visual actual points, or access to the inland waters. Proposed development to protect archaeological and historical resources, avoiding problems with floodplain development and use. Those are the types of things that you've got. And if you are in agreement with that after a conversation, then the next step would be to review the table in the ordinance for the actual permitting authority. If you believe that not going into any of those ventures or also avoiding commercial, industrial, multi-residential campgrounds, marinas, etc., as listed in table 1 of the ordinance, then you're going to look to remand this application to the code enforcement officer.
Whole thing. Will be Fine, and sent to the.
You already do word thing,
Septic is that is, should be 2 septic designs, complete. If you
right?
don't have it, I'm sure I have it here.
He was looking at it.
They didn't see one of
Well,
them.
the permit was in there, but the design was in there.
Yeah, the permit's not in there. No permits have been issued. All the fees been paid, but no permits until we're concluded tonight.
Right, and she was broken there.
Do you have to? Do we have to vote that this is complete as well?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna make the motion to accept this application as complete.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
All those in favor of accepting the application and deeming it complete?
Go reading. Well, tonight.
So when is the second building gonna go in? Do we know?
Immediately. I'll build them at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably do a foundation, put a frame up, do a foundation, put a frame up. Been doing, it's what I do for a living, so I have a crew, so. My guys will bounce from line to the other one, bounce from line to the other one. We do our own concrete.
We have a permit for that as well. The further application.
The approach should be in there.
It's all part of it.
It's all part of the whole thing.
Yeah, there should be, you should have two completing ones in there. It's on the same lot. It's just two buildings on one lot.
Yeah, I saw that, but I took it like from the application itself that he's building one now and then another one down the road.
You got a question? How far back off the river do you actually own?
Off the river,
Yes,
well, it's 8.75 acres. I own from basically 800 feet of. Say right under 800 feet of water frontage this way, and then from the river all the way back up to the main road,
on the main road.
pretty much, yes. Except for that normal 15 feet that CMP could technically link from it.
They have forward brick 15 feet back.
Yeah, they have a right technically to 15 feet, most power companies do, if they ever need to get in there, cut, do anything they want to do, they pretty much do the. For 15 feet here.
Yeah, I only had one of these. Let's space. The 34 by 54.
Well, it's about 500 feet.
There is one structure on it already, pretty much. Where the marker is up by the road, there's a garage, that was there previous. Accomplishments.
I wondered why they let the flower garden go.
Yeah, yeah. I do have another application, a copy of it, if you'd like.
I think he's probably gonna get me, but thanks, yeah.
Anybody ready to make a motion?
Make it. You already did?
No, I said I made a motion that it was complete.
Okay,
I didn't make a motion to issue or not issue.
Actually, I think we're referring it to the code enforcement officer.
Yes, okay. But there has to be a motion and a vote on that.
it's been seconded.
Yeah, maybe.
No, there is no motion.
I'll make a motion based on the review and conclusion of supporting material that, what was submitted to the planning board, that we remand it to the code enforcement officer for review and permitting.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Can you say that again?
I'm not sure. So, based upon the review and application and supporting materials presented to the planning board, I make a motion that we remand the application to the code enforcement officer for reviewing and permitting.
Well, I have the Boisvert one, and that's it. I don't have a days on layout post plan. On the
It's-
that we reported, so.
Rather than keep
I
it
have the
separate,
receipt where
so
both have been paid for, and it appears as though they're identical.
Yeah, I hear.
They are, other than the house plan and the septic design, they are identical.
Well, doesn't it require two different certifications?
And they have two different ones.
Okay,
You do, it's within like a point of the other one, but a third point, I believe, if I remember correctly, but you do have two separate certifications.
So you got the applications for Lee, correct? If not, Jacob? They were,
Right.
one was
Well, that's what I
Jacob.
did.
Dave got mine. Do you have 34 by 54? That would be mine. This is Lee's. I can go here. There's one here for you.
Probably
Yeah.
give it to
Might even have
Richard for
extra.
the record or the file.
we'll have
Give it
to
to you
get,
for the-
we'll need to take a copy of that. So what we've been discussing here so far was the 34 by 54.
That's this one.
Okay.
There's a,
Is that about here?
that one's the original and you have a copy of,
Okay.
please.
So I think that in the notes, we need to clarify that all previous action has been taken relative to the Boisvert dwelling. And if there's no objection, the board members will proceed to add the two other items on for floodplain and for shoreline.
Shoreline zone.
If they're the same, with the exception of the footprint of the setbacks and whatnot, are still going to be compliant, then you can handle the days on application after. And we'll issue same determinations with the different findings of facts. If that's agreeable to the board. So this is the Boisvert, which is the 30. For,
The 54.
Okay.
That's. confirmed.
yeah, 34 by 54, so this would wrap that up if there was any, your motion was on the floor and you got seconded.
It got seconded, yeah, oh,
So if there's no further discussion with regards to the 34 by 54 foot structure on this parcel. All those in favor? And with apologies to the applicant, bear with me for the sake of agenda. Is there any public comment not related to any items on the agenda tonight? The board have any other business? Then we will take up the application related to the days on residence. Proposed residence, floodplain. At 310 Going Road, map 16, lot 17, with dimensions 28 by 84. With that, I can go copy those real quick.
There's three copies right here.
Okay, this original.
The original is,
and, yeah, because I have 34 by 54.
oh, shall I want that one? Yeah, you'll have one in just a second.
Oh,
I tried to keep them separate, and I guess I did. Over,
What is the difference between the leach field? And between the two places?
Oh, hang on, I'm gonna make sure I can find you the right one, John. The one I give you, was that site one or is it site two that I already handed you?
I think it was for the first one.
It should say right here, John, the front page, site one or two. Oh, it's right there, okay, just checking. Right up in the top left corner,
Yeah, say two.
there's site one. Thank you.
You don't right off and know what the difference was.
On design itself,
Yes,
I don't. I
It's
say
a
it's,
it's a single family residence, and it's an Elgin
Do
design.
we need to add all this information about the repair stuff to the agenda? Then all it said here, the design.
Well, right, so I asked if there was any objection to adding another this. You could formally add it if you want to. It's up to you.
Okay. This is so. So.
This package still doesn't contain a certification. Did I miss that discussion? Or is there the same one? You have a different set,
No, you have a different certification, it should be.
okay,
and which one are we on?
1 days on.
Okay.
28 by 84.
Okay. Right here. What?
Yeah.
Oh, the copies.
Does anybody need to see the elevation certification?
I think it's in the package, isn't it?
No, that's not for this dwelling.
Okay, the
Is
other
it
one.
the first one? Would you like a copy of it or all set?
Sure, I'd love to see a copy of it.
Anybody else?
It was nice to have one to do hers.
One is substantially smaller. It disappeared.
He's making copies. Okay, that was. Did anybody make a motion? This is complete.
No.
Thank you.
And man, with all of us back, not knowledge,
That one there.
is site one substantially smaller than site two. And as far as each you and all that kind of thing.
I can take a look at that. Oh, yeah.
You know, 40 feet.
So site one's 1,000, beginning at 1,008 square feet, and this one is gonna be 1,008, actually very similar.
Where you. Are looking at, yeah, I know that, but looking at the size of it. This one's just wider, that one narrower or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be how they put in the Elgin in drains. They're kind of a fabric type material. So
Yeah,
if you look at the third page on John. it'll give you a good layout.
yeah,
So if you go to the next page of that, one, you should get a better layout. So they're very similar.
the real dimensions.
Right down here, they're 11 by 28. Right up in the box. And they're almost identical designs.
You make a motion, Mr. Garland.
No. I have to one. Well, I'll make the motion. That the application is complete.
Second that.
Discussion? No discussion? All in favor?
Looking at me like you expect me to do something.
Very similar to the last floodplain review regarding the Vaison proposal would theoretically be a motion to approve and authorize the chair to sign the findings of fact, conclusions, and notice of decision, noting that the certification in favor of granting the flood hazard development permit in accordance with Article 2 of the ordinance. And those elevations are the same as the previous application. So 155.7 being elevated to 177.
All right. Say that again.
Be a motion to approve and authorize the chair to sign findings of facts, conclusions, and notice of decision. And to grant the flood hazard development permit.
And two ends. They're not both excluded. No,
It's the same motion, just for the same motion.
we're gonna issue the permit.
Make a motion to, based on the review and conclusion of the supporting materials that we exclude this application from the regulation of the floodplain management ordinance and issue the permit.
Second that.
Discussion?
Wait a minute. Who made the motion and seconded to have the chair sign and all that?
And have the chair sign.
You did,
Yes.
okay. Who seconded it?
Jackie.
Yeah.
Okay. And all, did we vote?
We're ready to vote.
Oh, okay.
All in favor?
Okay, and now we're looking.
The shoreline zoning for
Yeah.
the second building. Again, it's gonna be 100 feet back from the river and the same.
Same.
Is it right at the 100-foot mark?
Looks pretty close on the drawings. Well, it's not from the river, it's from the high water mark, right?
Right. Jacob, do you remember exactly what it is?
It's like, yeah, it's right around 100 feet. It's a little bit over 100 feet, but I was pretty sure with a river around maybe 75 feet is a setback, correct?
With the river at 75, yes.
Yes, so I'm over that. It's 25 feet.
That was the one we hand back today.
Yeah.
Okay, I make that motion, whatever it is. Mm. Did somebody second?
I'll second it.
Okay,
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, we don't adjourn.
Any other business? I adjourn at 6:40.
Yeah, very good, thank you.